tacking down your steek with blanket stitch. I have a hand sewn reinforced steek here that I have turned back to the inside of my work, and I have pinned it down with a couple of pins to secure it while I work a blanket stitch. Blanket stitch is worked with a sharp tapestry needle threaded with some yarn that you're going to use to tack it down with. It can be the project yarn, or I prefer something a little bit thinner so it doesn't have as much bulk. This is thinner than my project yarn, and I'm using a contrasting color for the purposes of this video, but you can certainly use your project color. I have taken the edges of my hand sewing yarn that I've done, and I've tucked them underneath so that I can get rid of those. And my steek is turned all the way back. This is my last stitch of my steek. Blanket stitch is worked from the left to the right, and you begin by coming up as much in the corner as you possibly can. And pull it through. Leave yourself a couple inches of a tail, and then, leave yourself a couple inches of a tail, and then you can tuck that underneath and hide it. Let's try that again. I'm just going to tuck that underneath here. Okay, for blanket stitch, you hold your yarn to the left, lay it down underneath your steek like that. Move over about 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to put my stitches down along this line. This is a good visual line for me to use. So I'm going to move over just a little bit, go down in that spot, go underneath, and try to pick up a little bit of the float. You don't want to go all the way through to the front, of course. You just want to pick up something to tack it down with. And then pull that through. Again, lay your yarn to the left, move over about 3/8 of an inch, go down on your visual line, come towards you, and let's tuck that underneath a little bit more, get it out of the way. All right, let's try this again. Go down in, catch a little something, go over your strand that's laying to the left, and pull through. Move over about 3/8 of an inch. Go down through, pick up a little something that's close to the edge. Move over about 3/8 of an inch. I came down a little bit too low there, I don't like that. So I'm going to try to make sure I stay up a little bit further on my visual line. I'm going to move this pin, get it out of the way, and make sure that I have my steek folded. This is a standard embroidery stitch. And it really is nice to tack down your work. See, if you don't go all the way to the other side, you just catch a float. And you keep this strand that you lay to the left, you keep that so that it lays right along the edge of your fabric. And we'll do one more at the top. Okay, so then I'll just catch a little bit up here. And I'm going to feed my needle back between the fabric, just so that it gets hidden in the fabric. Bring it out somewhere. Make sure that you don't see it on the front side. And then you can trim it off close to your fabric there. And so that's a nice tack down edge using the blanket stitch.